I took 100 days to survive in ice peaks in Minecraft Hardcore. I built a huge ice kingdom where you can survive even in intolerable cold. The temperature reaches 100 degrees. It is the coldest place in the world. And even a simple fire won't save me from an icy death. I'm going to the world of ice nightmares to defeat all the ice monsters. And defeat the Snow Queen who froze the world with her dark magic and created ice mutants. I will go to the world of Edge to defeat the dragon and save New Year's Eve and Christmas. For all the monsters have united to freeze the world, and the fate of the world is in my hands. Please subscribe and like my channel. Sit back and let's dive together into this dangerous icy horror. Before I could live 100 days in the ice peaks, I died. I really died a lot, and I had a lot of attempts before I could live 100 days. The thing is that I mate in the middle of the ice peaks, which themselves emit cold. And in addition to that, there is snow and ice storms, which often descend on the ground and freeze everything in their path. Also the lack of wood and any resources for survival, so the first days I just died. I recreated worlds and tried again. This time I spavnivani near the lava lake, and it would seem that I will survive. But it was not there. Even near the lava lake heated is not possible. The only chance is to set myself on fire, but so I die even faster. So in front of me stood the most important task. To find a way for me not to die in the first 2 days, and so for the first 5 minutes or half a day, I have climatic stability. That is, I do not die from cold or heat. But the problem is that in 5 minutes to find a way to survive is unrealistic. I was constantly spawning in different places, recreating worlds so many times, and every time it came down to just dying. No matter what I did or where I was hiding, I was just dying. I was just chopping down a tree, making a fire and dying. Initially, I thought I just couldn't keep up, and because of that I was dying. But no, the fact is that it's so cold here that even 2 campfires can't fully warm me up. If you watch my last video, where I survived in New Year's Minecraft, then you know that there was only 1 fire that was enough for me to survive the cold. Here everything is much hardcore and complicated, and the climate is much colder, so I need to adapt and come up with something better. In order to survive in the first 2 days, and at the same time have time to make yourself insulated clothes. Of course, I immediately started mining wood, and it was a good result. Yeah, I had another 2 minutes of climate tolerance, and I managed to do everything I needed. I immediately made a pickaxe and started digging a stone to make a fire. I thought it would save me. I quickly went down to the cave and extracted the stone, made a stove and began to melt the wood to get charcoal and make a fire. And then I will figure out how to survive. But it's not as simple as I said with 1 fire. And especially on the street, I definitely won't get warm because of this. My next attempt to survive was unsuccessful. I put up a fire and waited for me to warm up, but it didn't happen and I died again. Even walls of earth couldn't save me. It's too cold in this world. I need to come up with a more reliable plan. And so the next attempt, I don't know what it is, because I've just lost count, because I've been dying too much and so far I haven't been able to come up with a way to survive. I have 5 minutes of climate resilience, and I ran right to the first tree I came across and decided to make 2 fires this time to see if they could keep me warm this time. And as you can imagine, it didn't save me either, although the fires warmed me, but I only had half a heart left. And when I took only a step away from the fire, I died immediately. And so, finally, an attempt that will be successful, I spawned right next to the tree, and it gave me a great advantage. I immediately started mining wood and came up with a way of survival that can save me. Logically, it is always hot underground. Miners who work in mines in real life always complain very much about high temperatures underground, and I decided to check it out and dug as deep as possible into the very bowels of the earth. I made a stone pickaxe and continued to dig under myself. As I did not fall into a cave where there was a lot of lava, but it was not even about it, there was no ice, snow, and cold wind in the cave. So the temperature there was much higher than on the surface, and I realized that I had finally found a way to survive for the first 2 days. It was even hot underground and still near the lava. Gradually the body temperature began to rise, and I noticed that I began to get heat stroke. If I overheat too much, I can also die, so it is important for me to maintain an optimal body temperature, not cold and not hot. I decided to get away from the lava and start digging a cave. Since I don't have time limits, I don't die of cold. I will dig until I can find an abandoned cave. It is very important for my future survival.
I was ready to dig for a very long time, but I was very lucky, and soon I found what I was looking for. It was an abandoned cave, and it will save my life. It has everything I need for my survival, namely a spider web from which I can get threads and then wool. There is wood, there are ores, chests. with resources, and if I'm lucky, spider spawners where there are even more threads and webs that I need so much now. So I'm going to stay here for a while, after which I can get out and start surviving in the ice peaks. I don't have any other option right now. The most important thing now is a spider web from which I can make warm things for myself, so I immediately began to make a stone sword in order to collect a lot of threads, and I immediately began to mine everything, absolutely everything. Torches, boards, thread, ores, I have to mine as many resources as possible for my survival, because it's not just hardcore. This is the most hardcore survival of all my survivals. Everything was very good. I even found a lot of wood, although there were a lot of monsters here, so I would need a shield, as well as about water. This is another important thing that I have to take into account. I have to drink water constantly so as not to die of thirst after all. Unlike food, I won't have half left. From lack of water, I can completely die forever. Basically, this is a trifle, and it is not as difficult to do it as to survive the first 2 days in this icy world, so I think that everything will be fine. Now, you just need to find an underground lake and drink some water from there. I have experience of surviving in caves since I survived 100 days underground, by the way. Who has not seen this video, go to my channel and be sure to watch. I think you will like it. But now I continue to collect resources, ores, and webs. In order to survive in this hardcore world, I need to make the most of all the opportunities. I hope soon I will get out of the cave and build a huge ice castle. And now, who still hasn't figured out how hardcore this survival is? Let's summarize what we need to survive fully. The first and most important thing is to monitor the temperature of my body. That is, I need wool armor so as not to freeze here and leaf armor so as not to burn in hell, or alternatively, this is an enchantment for climatic protection for any breastplate which will completely remove the effects of temperatures on my character. Secondly, I must eat so as not to die. Well, and drink water so as not to die of exhaustion. And on top of all this, there will be a whole bunch of ice monsters and mutants that will want to kill me, as well as the usual standard monsters that can also easily kill me, since the wool armor gives very little protection and only protects against the frost on its own. For now, I am not going to leave the cave and get all the resources that I see around me. At the moment, I have found a lot of planks and even a tree, so I decided to stock up on it properly, because there are very few trees growing on the surface, and it is very difficult to meet them. About one tree for 30-40 chunks, and only if I am lucky enough to find it. And the tree is very important for survival, and nothing will work without it. But there are advantages in it. The trees now grow very large, and there is more wood in them. But for now, I will stay in the cave because I feel comfortable. Here, and the cold does not affect me. Although I do not know what to do with the monsters, I am sure that sooner or later I will meet a lot of monsters, and it will be very easy for them to kill me. So I need to be very quiet and careful that they don't notice me and kill me. I faced another problem. The underground is already running out of food and water, and if getting water is not such a big problem, then finding food underground is simply not realistic. Although on the ground, not everything is as easy as I would like. In general, I had to eat spider eyes because, so far, this is the only way to replenish satiety and not die. I was hoping to restore some health with spider eyes, but as you can see, it didn't work out due to the fact that gradually I start to feel thirsty, and in this state, people not recover, but it's not a big deal. Now I'll find water. I can drink, I make another pickaxe and mine iron and everything. Well, and start making wool armor. As far as I know, each piece of wool armor protects 25 from the cold. That is, now I can make 75 from the cold. That is, now I can make 75 protection from the cold. I need to get some more threads, and I can be completely protected from the cold. But as they say everywhere, there are disadvantages, and the main disadvantage of this armor is the low durability of only 20 units, which is equal to 10 hits. Therefore, if I am beaten by monsters, the armor will quickly break, and not only will they beat me, I will also freeze to death, so you need to be extremely careful in this armor. Now, I will not wear it since it is already warm in the cave. There is no point in wearing this armor, especially since there are often monsters here that can break it for me even before going out. I found a spider spawner and there were a lot of webs, but I have half a heart left and I can die. But fortunately, I found water and now I was able to restore my health. Now I mine resources, coal iron, and so on. Decided to climb to the surface. But before that, I mine a lot of andesite. I needed to build a house. I'm going to build my house out of andesite, ice, snow, and stone bricks. Well, I finally got out. The snowstorm meets me, by the way, and let's sum up the results of the first 4 days of survival. We laid the ground for further survival. We found a tree. We found wool, we found coal and iron. some more resources, and basically everything you need to survive in the ice peaks. Now, the cold is not so dangerous, at least until the armor breaks. Now we need to think a plan for further survival. And of course, there are still many dangers and difficulties waiting for us in front. These were only the very first and initial difficulties, and what will happen next we will see in the next 96 days. But in the meantime, since I got out and did not have time to figure out anything, I faced the problem that I simply do not know what to do and where to go. Everywhere, there is only snow and glaciers, no settlements, no trees, no animals, absolutely nothing. Only a strong blizzard. And blizzard, what to do and where to run, I've not yet understood. By the way, there are no villages here with inhabitants. This will be confirmed by all my survival. I will not find a single village. And this is understandable because who wants to live in an icy wasteland? And in general, there is nothing alive except rabbits in this world. Only monsters and mutants, by the way. I still met a couple of rabbits and decided to catch up with them. After all, there is no food at all. I am lucky that at least I found them. Otherwise, soon I could start starving to death. I do not know where to get food yet. There are very few rabbits, and I have not yet come up with other ways. But I have to solve something, because without food, survival is impossible. Maybe I will go down to the cave and find a chest with watermelons or potatoes with carrots. Or maybe I'll knock some of this out of the zombies. Also, an alternative to cow skin is rabbit skin, since in the ice world, the spawn of mobs and other resources like sugarcane is limited. I need to look for alternatives to all the resources that are not available in this world, such as rabbit skin, spider threads, and paper from libraries, I think. You get the point? And now I'm going on a journey I don't know where after all. There is really nothing here except the ruins of portals, in which you can find at least some resources. While I was walking along the path, I found a giant tree that grew right into the ice and decided to get it. You don't often come across trees. You can't miss such an opportunity, especially since now I have very little wood, and I definitely won't find an alternative to it. I already have all the inventory full of resources. So after mining wood, I need to find a place where I can live and put all the things in a chest, as well as figure out how to make a farm with food, so as not to die of hunger. I made a boat and sailed on it on the ice. This is the coolest thing I've seen, how cool it is to drift on it. Nightfall, I immediately stopped and put a bed to skip the night because I don't want to meet night monsters and even more so with ice mutants. Well, we start our new 6th day. I have a small plan for further survival. For this, I need to find a lot of destroyed portals. The fact is that I want to go to hell. And for this, you need a lot of obsidian. Also, in the ruins of portals, you can find different seeds, as well as a lot of gold and items. I also plan to make a greenhouse in which I can grow various vegetables while my plants will not freeze from the cold. I hope I can find at least something. In any case, the 3 main things that I can safely develop in the future. I need heat, water, and food. But I don't have any specific goals right now, as I just don't know where to start. But while I was drifting my cool boat on the ice, I found the ruins of a portal and took some resources from there, as well as gold blocks and made a fishing rod, so that there would be fish in the future. I collected everything I needed near the ruins of the portal, but obsidian I can't mine yet. I don't have a diamond pickaxe. So I wrote down the coordinates of the portal so that in the future they will come back here. It is not known if I will be able to find more such ruins. So let the coordinates be better recorded in my notebook. I have replenished my water supply. I fell through the ice and got out of there with difficulty. Ate and decided to swim on. I found a hoe for soak touch. I really need it because I am going to build a house from ice, so I was very lucky that I found it. Of course, it is not a pickaxe, but it can also be used to extract ice. Well, now you can continue on your way, just in case I have a fishing rod, although I don't think I will fish, but if suddenly there is no way out, I will be able to catch a couple fish and satisfy my hunger, so with food from part is solved. But now there is a question of heat and water. In principle, you can drink ordinary water, but you can get poisoned from it and die even faster. And as for the base, I need a lot of ice, snow, and andesite. I want to build a palace out of ice, but I need to find a place to build it. And for water, I need a water purifier. I will also need leather. Bottles in which you can fill as many as 3 flasks of water. But now I was just running around the world and trying to find something. But there was nothing in my way except rabbits and snow and ice. I didn't understand what to look for and where to run, because there was just emptiness around. No tree, no dungeons, no robbers, absolutely nothing. I need to take the initiative into my own hands in order to survive, because I will not be able to find something in this world. I will have to do absolutely everything with my own hand. Right now, I decided to create a chest and put all my things in it because I can't just run around the world all the time. Sooner or later, I will run out of food and die, so I need to start making a greenhouse, and then I will go to the mine. Oh my god, I'm so excited to finally be able to survive in a regular Minecraft world without ice and snow. This is the second video about winter, and I'm just going crazy. I crawled out of the cave and tried to find my house, but it didn't work. I found an abandoned portal, searched it, and kept looking. I searched for my house for days, ran around, even watched the video and tried to build the same route. But it didn't work. In this world, everything is the same type of ice and snow. Plus, there was also a strong snowstorm, and I just got lost. No matter how hard I tried, I could not find my home, and it will forever remain in my heart. I made a mistake and did not write down the coordinates, so it will be my fault and my lesson for the future. I will not make such mistakes again, and now I need to find a new place to live and start all over again, to make a new greenhouse and finally go to hell. Let's see if there is something useful for me.
put all my things away, made iron armor, and put it in the furnace to be smelted and start making a portal. I'm not sure if I need it now, but I want to check if there is something useful for me in hell that will help me survive or at least give some impetus to my development. In fact, without thinking, I made diamond and iron armor, but it's hot in hell and I need protection from climatic conditions like here. In hell, you need armor made of foliage, and in the icy world, you need wool armor. So for now, this armor will most likely not make sense. But in any case, it will be useful to me in the future. I have a plan, but I'll tell you about it a little later. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll be able to wear my armor and still not suffer the effects of the climate. I saw that my body temperature had risen to the limit and I began to burn. I urgently need to run home to my world and jump into the water. Otherwise I will burn. For the first time, I wanted to go to cold, icy lands instead of warmth. I immediately ran home and began to break the ice, but it turned out to be dense and no water appeared. I ran to the lake, I dug up the ice and finally plunged into the cool water. Phew, I was swept away. I no longer set foot in hell until there is climate resistance on the armor in general. What is there? And there, I do not have many options for survival, so we will survive in our ice world for now. Now I will take a boat and sail to look for the ruins of portals. I hope to find there some interesting visitors that may be useful to me. And so I found several portals and was able to get a lot of useful things. For example, golden breastplate with climate protection, 2 potatoes, pickaxe for silk touch, and many other interesting things. I even found 10 fireballs. Now I want to start collecting ice for my future home. Rather not a house, but a real ice castle for the Ice King. That is me. Now it's time to set fire to the ice portal. This is a new ice dimension where the most dangerous creatures live, as well as the Snow Queen that I will need to defeat. I am not ready yet, but in the future, I will go there and destroy all the ice monsters, I hope at least. And now I will prepare to build a house. I need to get a lot of wood to make more chests. And anyway, I've run out of wood, so I need to get it. I'm going to drift on the icy lakes again in my beautiful boat. How much I love this activity. If I could, I would drift on the lake for 100 days, but things won't wait, so I only manage to do it when I need to go somewhere. Well, nothing. After I kill the dragon, I'll ride a boat on the lake to my heart's content. Finally, I was able to find a tree. It's a huge rarity, and it seems that finding wood in this world is more difficult than finding diamonds or emeralds. I immediately made an iron axe and decided to mine wood until I completely broke my axe. I don't need so much wood now, but it will come in handy in the future. And I don't have time to constantly run around looking for trees, so the extra wood will come in handy in the future and I can use it immediately and not run around looking for it for 5 days. I'm just amazed at how gigantic this tree is. And anyway, when I get home, I make chests and put all the things there. And also now I can start mining the blocks. I need to build a house. And so Let's see what resources I need to build a house. The first is snow. I'll make a diamond shovel and dig up a pile of snow. The second is andesite. I've already mined a lot of andesite, but it will come in handy even more. So I'll find a cave and mine it there. And of course, stone and stone bricks, as well as different blocks, steps, fences, and shower lights. But first things first, and now I'm starting to dig a whole bunch of snow. Now, I'm going to the cave because I've got a lot of snow. Now I need andesite. So I took a pickaxe and went. Hell, I've almost mined as much andesite as I need. So there's still a little bit left. Right now, I'm going to start building a house. I'm going to get out of the cave. I'm going to recraft all the andesite blocks into palletize and andesite stairs, fences, and so on. I put in a chest all the blocks that I need to build a castle. And right now you see in this chest my house that has not yet been built. But now let's start building. Initially, I started building a base of snow with dimensions of 9x9 blocks. It was a snow circle, but it turned out to be too small, and in the future, I will expand it by another 4 blocks. As a result, there are 13 by 13 blocks of the base for the castle, and we will start building the castle itself. Well, this is the basis of my castle. It doesn't look very good yet. We've just started building. Soon it will turn into a candy, and I think it's going to be just fine. Let's keep building. Well, the next stage of construction, I made the gates and started making the walls. It turned out not bad, but this is only the base of my castle. Let's go ahead and see what comes out. In the meantime, please like and subscribe to my channel. Please, I dream of gaining 1,000 subscribers. I have improved and completed the walls and gates of my ice castle, as well as finished the base of the castle and made it more voluminous. Now we can get down to the fun part. Let's build towers in the castle. Well, friends, I finished the ice crown on my castle. I don't like the tower a little, so I'll redo it. It came out too short, and now I've gone to hell. I need to get soul sand and some blaze rods. I want to make soul lamps to decorate my castle with them, and I decided to get blaze rods at the same time. I don't want to go to hell too often, because I need them to find the fortress of hell. A little later, besides, there were a lot of blazes here, and I decided not to bypass them and kill them a little along the way, getting soul sand. Upon returning from hell, I will continue to build the castle. Now, I was lucky enough to find a hell fortress right next to my portal, so I decided to walk through it and search everything, found a chest that contained not very valuable things, a blaze spawner that I wanted to break but decided to kill them a little, and soul sand, by the way. How do you like my Christmas videos? I hope that I pleased each of you. The first came out before Christmas and the second before the new year. I want to make it as a tradition on my channel and do it every year. Write what you think about it in the comments, and Happy New Year to all. I killed a whole bunch of blazes and almost died, but it worked out. And I also got some soul sand, and I think I can go back home, craft soul lamps, and continue building my ice castle. Well, I hung the shower lamps on the walls of the castle, and now it looks more natural and attractive, but now let's continue. I have to rebuild the tower because it looks very small compared to this kingdom. But in general, I am satisfied with everything. I will still need to build a gaze bow. I already figured out what it will look like from quartz, ice, and amethyst. And now let's look at our castle from the outside. Yes, it seems to me that the tower still needs to be redone. I did not calculate the height a little, and it looks very strange, so let's upgrade it right now. Finally, friends, my castle is completely ready. All that remains is to equip and decorate everything inside, and you can live in it. Write what you think this castle looks like and what game it is from. Those who guess will get a like from me on the comment, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. In the meantime, Wandering Merchant came to my house. He had a lot of different items, but at the moment I didn't have anything I needed, and I didn't have any emeralds either, so I didn't buy anything from the traveling merchant. But this is what my beautiful ice castle looks like from the outside. It looks so majestic and menacing. It's really the castle of the Lich King from the Frozen Wastes, although I don't look like him a bit. Okay, I'll admit I'm not like him at all. I'm weak and pathetic, but I'm sure to become a strong and powerful Winter King. You'll see. And now I'm getting ready to go to hell. I want to dig up a lot of netherite and make myself a new armor. I'm not sure, but what if the netherite armor protects me from the cold? Logically, it's made of hell metal. It's very hot in hell. Maybe it will work, and I'll get not only a lot of protection, but also protection from the climate. It wouldn't be bad, but we'll check how it will actually be when we make netherite armor. Hopefully everything will work out. Now I'm picking potatoes, decomposing objects, and making bubbles to take as much water as possible with me to hell, because it's very hot there and thirst goes away faster. So I'll need as much food and water with me as possible, as well as a lot of pickaxes and patience. I'm going to dig up a whole bunch of netherite, so I need to prepare properly. Everything except the water is ready, and I can go to hell. Now I'm going to collect all the glass that melted in the stoves and make a lot of bottles. I'm going to fill all the vials with water. As I drink them, I'm going to throw them away, get water, and go to hell. I have to dig up everything here and find a lot of netherite. Well, let's get started. Well, that's it. I've broken all my pickaxes and mined a lot of netherite, but there's one problem. I remembered that I spent all my resources on making pickaxes, and now I won't be able to make more. It means I'm stuck and I'll have to come up with something. I don't have iron and diamonds anymore. So I came up with a plan. Since I found a lot of portal ruins, I have a whole bunch of gold and I have nowhere to put it. I decided to make a lot of gold pickaxes and go dig a cave with them. They dig fast, even though they are very fragile, but I made enough of them to find diamonds and make a diamond pickaxe. I returned from the cave. I got quite a lot of resources, managed to make a diamond pickaxe and decided to dig a little more with it as a result. A whole bunch of resources, and while I was away, The zombie pig decided to settle in my house, and now it's time to make netherite armor. We have a lot of diamonds, so I make new diamond armor so that I don't have to repair netherite armor later. I'm ready. I made a blacksmith table and created diamond armor, but then suddenly I remembered that I don't have netherite upgrade templates and I'll have to go to hell again. Unfortunately, last time I forgot about it. So there is no other way out. I hope I will find them quickly and there will be no problems with it. And by the way, soon you will need to make an enchantment table and an enchantment in order to enchant your netherite armor. So you will have to go to the world of End, or rather to the library near the End A portal. Now I will find a template and make netherite armor. Now we can only hope that either the netherite armor will protect us from the cold, or at least we will be lucky with the enchantment and we will be able to get climatic protection on the chest for information. The enchantment of climatic protection can only be obtained on the chest. So I really hope that I am lucky. Well, I have a plan B. There is a whetstone that removes enchantments. So I can make a few attempts. As long as I have enough experience for all the enchantments, I was able to make as many as 7 netherite ingots, and I have enough for armor and tools. Not bad. Maybe I won't have to dig caves in hell anymore. And now I'm collecting the smelted iron and going to hell, as I said, because I need templates to upgrade netherite armor. After running around hell for a while, I found the long-awaited blacksmith upgrade template, and now I can make netherite armor. I also found a bonus of this 3 diamonds, which is also pretty good. I saw some visor skeletons in the distance and decided to kill them. But as it turned out, there are much more of them than I thought, and I seriously risked my life. In order to defeat them, they came right around the corner, one after another, and attacked me. I almost died. I only had half my heart left, and I decided that it was time to go home after all. Drop things for a second time. I had nothing more to do in hell, and I no longer wanted to risk my life. Well, I returned home and immediately began to craft netherite armor, although I was a little blunt with crafting blacksmith templates. And I had to change the crafting a little. I decided to make 6 templates at once. I will hardly need more, but if I can make as many of them as I want, I will only need to find diamonds for this. And I still hope that netherite armor will give me thermal protection, and I will be able to walk freely on the icy world without fear for my life. I've made templates, and now I can start crafting armor. I've made a chest piece. Then we're making boots. Then there's a helmet and pants. Now I have a whole netherite set, and I need to check if it will protect me from the cold. And if I can walk in the snow without freezing, I wanted to see if I could transfer the enchantments from my golden breastplate to the netherite chestplate. But I didn't succeed. Well, it was still worth trying. If it worked, it would be cool. But alas, I will have to find another way. So I put on a full set of netherite armor, and it seemed to me that everything worked out. Let's see if that's the case. Hell, I'm not freezing for now, and everything seems to be fine. But no, I'm still freezing. I'm going to have to enchant my chest piece so that I can wear the entire set of netherite armor. But for now, I'm going to have to wear my golden chest piece with thermal protection until I make an enchantment. By the way, I'm going to do that right now. Just in case my golden breastplate breaks, I made woolen armor so that I would not freeze, but put it on. Then at least I would be able to run home and warm myself by the fire and not die. In general, the difficulties do not let me go. I thought that it would be easier, but in my opinion, everything is only getting worse, and it is more and more difficult to survive every day. And I haven't gone to the ice world yet, so I decided to build a path to my house out of snow and decorate it with lanterns made of soul lamps and infernal planks. And now I want to build a gazebo for my enchantment. Slowly, my Ice Kingdom is starting to take on a majestic appearance. Who would have thought that in 60 days we would be able to develop so much? And from a defenseless survivor to an ice warrior who's going to save the whole world from global frost and eternal winter. And now look what I've got. I hope you like my buildings. I tried very hard. In my opinion, it turned out not badly. This is what everything looks like here. I decorated everything with shower lamps and made the floor from quartz. This gazebo gives such a warm vibe and atmosphere, as if my world has thawed a little and has become a little warmer. But now let's see how my gazebo looks from the outside. That's just wonderful. Who wants to take it on board, as they say, and build it in your world. There's nothing complicated about building, so you'll succeed. And that's what my whole kingdom looks like now. It seems so big when you look at it from afar. It's so majestic. And now I need to get 6 ender pearls to go in search of the ender fortress. 5 or 6 pieces are enough for me to find it. I am not going to activate the portal yet, so I just need to get to it. I attacked the enderman, but he almost killed me. I only have half a heart left, and I was barely lucky to kill him. I had to go back home and make a shield because my old one is broken, by the way. I hope I don't meet the ice mutant rogue, because now I'm not ready to fight him, and he appears just during the blizzards. Ran home, drank some water on the way, and decided to see what my gazebo looks like in the night light. It's just beautiful, such a light winter vibe. It's also snowing, but you know, I'm already a little tired of this snow. Don't get me wrong. But the second survival in a row in a snowy world, and it's always cold and so snowy. I want to survive somewhere in a warm place where there are seagulls and crabs and not these glaciers horror. Okay, you need to get ender pearls and go look for the library. I don't have time for whining. Last, we have to save the New Year and Christmas from the evil Snow Queen. I'm ready. I've got everything I needed, and now I can gather some potatoes, fry them before I go, and finally soon I'll make an enchantment and be able to enchant my netherite armor. By the way, when I get back, I need to move to my ice tower because I built my house a long time ago and still live on the street. It's kind of weird. By the way, not a bad harvest, although my potato farm is not large, but it brings 30-40 pieces of potatoes, and this is enough for me until the next harvest. Quite cool. Now I need to make 6 eyes of the edge and go look for a portal. I hope I will succeed. I'm a little worried because it is very easy to get lost in these icy and snow covered plains. You need to write down the coordinates of the house necessarily before hiking and be careful. I took a boat, but it turned out that I was a little in the other direction, so we'll have to walk for now. But maybe it will be useful to me. I will take it with me. Besides, I forgot to take potatoes, and go without food is somehow not very good. So I need to prepare better. Okay, let's go look for a portal. I hope we can do it quickly because I still have a lot of important things to do. And I need to do everything as usual in 100 days. In addition, I have a limited amount of water and food. The sooner I find the portal, the better. It will be very stupid if I live 70 days and die just of hunger or exhaustion. By the way, I was lucky and found the carcass of a rabbit in the middle of a snowy clearing. I don't know what happened to it, but I hope it is not poisoned. Anyway, I finally found a place where I need to dig a cave down. Somewhere there is a portal, and accordingly, a library where I can get books and everything I need. I found a portal, but I still haven't found a library. I've put all my eyes in the portal, but they're few. And I don't need it now. I'll activate it later, and now I want to find a library. But as usual, when I look for a portal, I find a library. When I need a library, I find a portal. The law of meanness, but there's no other way. This is a classic you will have to accept and endure. Finally found the library. I've run around the fortress, and here it is. I've made an iron axe. And now I'm going to get all the books that are here, and there should be 2 chests of books and enchanted books. Now I can get a whole bunch of books. I'm so glad. Now I need to get a lot of bookshelves and find 2 chests that are hidden here somewhere. In fact, I have already found the first one, but I did not notice it right away. Although it was right under my nose, I decided to free the inventory so that the items from the chest would fit in my inventory. And in the chest, I found a very valuable book. This is a book with a thermal protection enchantment. It turns out that now I will be able to wear a full netherite set. But first I will enchant a chest piece for protection 4, and then I will add a book to it, and I'll get just a perfect set of armor. In general, I found a lot of useful things in this library, and now I can make an enchantment, enchant all my armor, and finally move to my house. And then he will go in search of the Snow Queen. I returned home, and now I need to make wood into planks and craft for all the books of the bookshelves. I got as many as 40 bookshelves, and this is definitely enough for me to build the coolest enchantment. And it will most likely be left. Then I need to find my diamonds and obsidian to make an enchantment table. Later, I will go to another cave because I have very few diamonds left. I also wanted to upgrade my netherite armor with diamonds. So going to the cave is inevitable. I checked, and I can actually enchant my chest piece with the book. But first, I'll enchant it in an enchantment to get protection 4. Because if I add the book now, I won't be able to enchant it anymore. Well, let's make an enchantment table then. I've found all the necessary materials, and the enchantment table is ready. Now I need to go to the gazebo and make a level 30 enchantment. I went to build. I had to calculate the exact number of books so that it would look beautiful, and at the same time give me level 30 enchantments. I built an enchantment and decided to decorate it a little. Then I will bring soul lanterns. And now let's enchant our chest to level 30, by the way. I was very lucky because on the first attempt, I got protection 4 and durability 3, as well as spike 2 top enchantment. Now I need to add a book to thermal protection, and I will become incredibly cool. And also I need to enchant all the other parts of my armor. I have to prepare as much as possible before I go to the ice dimension. I have to defeat all the ice monsters and mutants before I can fight the boss. So I need 4 protection on all parts of my armor, from helmet to boots. I've improved the chest piece, and now you can make an engraving with diamonds. I've added a mod that gives different effects from improving armor. For example, diamond gives regeneration. I don't know about the rest of the materials, but I know that the more expensive the material, the better bonuses it gives. I decided to make diamond upgrades, but I don't have enough diamonds. So now I'm going to the mine to mine them. Not all materials can be added to the upgrade, but I still decided to check. Ice is not allowed. Lapis lazuli does not give anything, as well as quartz. I also decided to check with emeralds, but I still did not understand what they would give if they were added to armor. I checked all the materials, and it seemed to me that the regeneration effect would be the most useful for me. That's why I decided to make it out of diamonds and not strain. And now, friends, I'm going to go to the mine. I won't be able to do anything interesting anymore, by the way. In the cave, I will get experience, and I will be able to enchant the rest of my armor, and then I will move to my new house. I built it so long ago, but I still haven't moved into it. And so I went to the mine, and just look at what greets me when I return. Beautiful stars and northern lights. How beautiful Minecraft can be. Well, now I can improve my armor and finally get the regeneration effect. It is only given if the full set is upgraded, so we improve the pants, helmet, and boots. And now let's go enchant all my armor. While I was digging the cave, I got quite a lot of levels, and I think it will be enough for me to completely enchant. See how beautiful our kingdom looks, and the northern lights perfectly complement the landscape. By the way, write in the comments what kind of planet in the sky it is, if I am on planet Earth, then why do I see something similar to it in the night sky? Okay. Anyway, I'll be waiting for comments from you, but now enchanting the armor. The helmet is not enchanted very much, so it needs to be redone, but everything else is enchanted for protection 4, and it's cool. Now I need to unenchant the helmet and enchant it again. I hope I have enough experience for this. If I remove the enchantment through the whetstone, I will get 50 of the experience back. I'll also put the ores to be smelted in the furnace to get some experience in case I don't have enough to enchant all the armor. Finally, I enchanted all the armor, and now all the armor for protection 4. I also have a book for durability 3, so I use it on my helmet so that it does not break too quickly. I think I was very lucky. I enchanted all the armor for protection 4 almost the first time, but now I can start moving. I haven't set up my house yet, but I'm going to do it. Now I need to drag all the chests into the house, make a water purifier finally, and make leather flasks, as well as equip the house inside, make furniture and all sorts of decorations. Well, I moved all my stuff, and now all I have to do is move my portals. I decided to make them in the form of a bow and a sword. In my opinion, it's not a bad idea. No one has done this before. First, I made a hell portal. It turned out to be 3 stories high and very beautiful. You can rate my buildings in the comments. And next, I made an ice portal, and soon, and I will go to it to finally defeat the Snow Queen and her minions. Initially, I made a regular ice portal, but I realized that it looked bad against the background of the portal to hell. So I decided to build 2 more floors, and this is what came out in the end. Our kingdom became incredible and very beautiful, and now I will prepare to go to the winter world. And for now, you look at our castle. Digging land to plant a giant tree. I found a sapling of one of the biggest trees, and I want to put it near my kingdom. It will fit nicely into my kingdom and complement it. If I'm lucky enough to find more seedlings in the future, I'll definitely put more trees in my castle. It will be cool. But in the meantime, I've planted this tree, and just look how fast it grows. It's just incredible. It continues to grow, just like in the fairy tale about the beanstalk, by the way. Who knows what fairy tale or cartoon it is from? In the beginning, there was only winter, ice, and snow. Now my kingdom looks like an oasis in the middle of the desert. What a giant tree it is. I just have no words. I wonder how many blocks of wood there are in it. Probably several thousand. Of course, I will not cut it down, let it grow near the kingdom for beauty, by the way. I noticed that it is still not fully grown. I just can't imagine how big it will be when it is built to the end. I hope I can find a few more such seedlings and plant many such trees around the castle. In the meantime, one tree looks great. The giant tree is growing the maximum, and it looks incredible. I am very glad that now there's a giant tree near my kingdom. But now I will start full preparation for the trip to the ice world. Their monsters are much stronger and more dangerous, as well as there are many more of them. So I need to prepare properly. First of all, I think it is worth improving my pickaxe or sword. I still have blacksmith templates as well as netherite ingots. I need to decide that I will improve the sword or pickaxe. In principle, I think that 1 damage on the sword will not give me much advantage, but the netherite pickaxe is much more effective than the diamond one. Besides, it is possible that there will be new ores in the ice world that I can hardly mine with an ordinary pickaxe. I think I'll spoil the last of the netherite ingot for the pickaxe. Yeah. Now I'm going to decorate my room a little for a more festive look. I need to make garlands. Let's place them all over the room. They look pretty nice, by the way. They even change colors. They are animated. It's cool. Who would have thought that there are such cool New Year's textures packs? Now, let's place the Herlands around the room and proceed to the next stage. I decided to make a window, but I'm not sure if it would look good. And anyway, when I made this window, I realized that it was a mistake. Besides, the sunlight does not get through it into the house, but I will not remove it. Let it be as it is. And now let's go see how our house looks from the outside. I don't think I built all this in vain. Next, I decided to harvest potatoes to take more food with me to the ice world. It turned out to be as many as 30 potatoes. Now I will overcook them. And for now, I am returning home to make a shield. Without a shield, I will not go to the ice world. I think that even netherite armor will not be able to save me from death. So the shield will definitely come in handy for me. I waited until all the potatoes were overcooked to take them with me, and went to the portal. On the way, I met a witch in a Santa hat and killed her. I wonder how she ended up here and why she came. Anyway, it doesn't matter anymore. We go to the ice world to kill the Snow Queen and put an end to this ice apocalypse. I have to kill the Snow Queen and the Ender Dragon, and then the world will return to normal. Well, friends, we are almost there. There is very little left. Let's not hesitate and do what we have to do. Well, I'm in a nice world so far. I don't see any difference from my world here. The only thing that seems to be very dark here is much darker than in the normal world. Apparently, when you survive in the normal world, this ice world seems terrible to you. But to me, after my hell, it seems something ordinary. Although there are some new monsters and mutants here, as well as new blocks and trees, I think I'll meet a lot of new things in the course of exploring this world. But now let's kill a couple of monsters and see what drops from them, by the way. They are quite tenacious, and it's not so easy to kill them. Most likely, I will have to find myself a new sword, by the way. I noticed that under the lake where my portal appeared, there are some stand ores that look like coal or something after killing the mobs. I'll check what kind of ore it is and try to mine it. Apparently, I made a new pickaxe for a reason. By the way, these monsters remind me terribly of someone, as if they are mobs from the normal world, but very much mutated and took the form of ice monsters, and this biggest monster looks like a golem or something like that. In general, now I decided to kill these monsters a little more to make sure that they do not drop anything valuable. So far, I have not knocked out anything interesting except for experience and some pieces of meat and skin. But I will still kill a couple more mutants, by the way. The morning has begun to come, but it is still dark around me. Apparently, it is not light here even during the day. Considering that this is an ice world where the Snow Queen lives, this is understandable, but because of this world is very uncomfortable. It would be nice to get a couple of night vision bubbles, but alas, it's too late. I'll have to illuminate everything with lanterns and torches, and now I'm going to try to get a couple of ores from the ice lake. Let's see what can be made from them, from this newer. I basically got purple diamonds from which I can make anything. Armor, tools, and swords, by the way. I decided to make tools and a sword because they are better than netherite ones, but the armor is kind of strange. It has a lot of armor on it, but little armor strength, and plus it is not enchanted, unlike my netherite armor. So I think it's best to keep my netherite set until I can enchant the new armor, and maybe I can find even better armor than the new purple diamonds. And for now, I'll go further around the world looking for something interesting. I found some strange dungeon that had blue ice warriors and some strange armor and red swords. I decided to go to them and more warriors appeared who shot at me with something strange. The effect of their shots is very similar to shulkers. It changed gravity and I was lifted high into the sky. I was able to fight them off with grief and half and break their spawner. I hope I won't meet such warriors again. They are very nasty and I don't even have a bow to kill them. I didn't think I should have made a bow while I was at home. Anyway, they didn't have anything of value in their chest. So I decided to go on and look for something else. Let's see what else I meet on the way. I'm looking for the Snow Queen, and to be honest, I'm not sure I can defeat her. If only the monsters turned out to be so strong. Can't even imagine how strong the Snow Queen is. We continue our way on, and this time I found a really big dungeon. It's a whole tower with a lot of blue ice knights and even chests. One of these knights got out and started shooting at me very hard and throwing me into the sky. It's just terrible. Can't go into this tower and just kill all the knights. In addition, there are more of them every minute because there are spawners there. So I have to find a way to take things from chests without fighting these mobs. They are very strong, especially when there are so many of them. So I decided that I would break blocks and look for chests outside, pick up items, and quietly leave before the monster spotted me. Well, I finally got to the first chest. I hope you enjoyed the musical break, and the chest had a whole bunch of useful items that will help me defeat the Snow Queen, such as various armor with a high level of defense, a cool sword, and an ice enchanted apple that is stronger than the usual one. So I will continue to make my way to the chests and quietly peel them off. After fighting off the monsters, I came up with one cool plan. For this, I will need a lot of blocks, third-person camera, pickaxe, and a little more ingenuity. I am going to climb the towers and get all the chests on all floors. I think that the higher the floor, the better the items will be in the chests. I want to collect a whole set of cool armor and fight the Snow Queen. I've found a lot of cool items, and I also want to find some enchanted ice apples. They are much cooler than normal ones. Plus, they can be found much easier than apples in the normal world. So I keep looting towers and gathering strength for the boss fight. I put the lights on and started climbing the tower. Yeah, I hope that I can do it. And so in order to find the chest, I have to look through the window in the third person, then break the wall and find the chest. And so that I don't get thrown out of here, otherwise I can die. As it turned out, this icy world is not as simple as I thought. There are not as strong monsters here as I thought, but they have very cunning fighting techniques. Some lift me into the sky, some push me away, and some teleport to a random place right after my single hit and and someone can fly at all, and it is incredibly difficult to get them. In general, the boss Snow Queen will be another problem, and it will be really very difficult to defeat her. While I was climbing the tower and trying to find at least some objects, quite a lot of time passed, and I felt the atmosphere of this world. Here it is actually much worse than in my world. Although the climate is similar, but the eternal darkness puts a lot of pressure on the eyes and the mood is depressive here. Oh, guys, now the fun begins. It's not long before the battle with the Snow Queen. Now I'm going to completely cover this entire tower and go in search of another, as I already understood. The egg on top of these towers is the receptacle for the Snow Queen, or the Ice Dimension Queen, who froze our world by making her way through the portal. Thanks to the Ender Dragon, she became even stronger and fell into hibernation in this ice egg. In general, the story is so-so, but you get the point. I almost have a full set of very strong armor, which means that only 1 or 2 towers will be enough for me to gain strength and destroy the Snow Queen. Right now, I came to another tower and there were even cooler items, as far as I understood. There is some armor that is crafted from new ores and another part that is mined in some way. Also, after walking around all the towers, I found yellow armor. And it seems to be the strongest I've seen so far. I plan to enchant it in the future. Yeah, I know that there is even stronger armor, but until I figured out how to get it while I was climbing the towers, I looked at the guides for this mod and there's armor 2 times stronger. But the problem is that this moody is not very popular at the moment, and all the guides on it are of very low quality. So I have not found an answer anywhere where to get it. I have a guess that it can drop from the Snow Queen, and I plan to check it out. But as for the yellow armor, I think it's not bad. I plan to enchant it, but I'm worried that in some ways it's worse than the non-zero armor, and I'm afraid that it may be worse to use because I don't understand what the catch is. It gives an incredible 20 or 30 armor, but it only gives 1 hardness of armor. And on netherite, it gives 3 hardness of armor. It's kind of weird, don't you think? In general, I will need to check both armor and decide which one I will keep for myself and which one I will remove the enchantment from and use the experience for other purposes. I will check this when I return. Anyway, I've got some pretty cool swords for 15 and 20 damage, and this will help me defeat the Ender Dragon. And now I want to fight off these nasty ice mages who are throwing me into the sky and making it very difficult for me to get into the tower. I want to climb into the tower, and it will be easier for me to defeat all the knights there. And also I plan to fly around all the chests and get to the very top of the tower. So you need to fight your way through a whole bunch of mages and knights of the Snow Queen, by the way. Look how many rings I've already collected. Mages and chests drop different rings. For example, gravity control ring, ice ring, and fire ring. They shoot different magic powers, and now I can also raise these wizards into the sky. However, for some reason, I don't do as much damage as they do. Really, their rings are stronger. Well, it's time to finally fight the Snow Queen, as I broke the ice egg and she immediately crawled out. And as soon as I hit her for the first time, she teleported. As it turned out, the main problem in killing this boss is not the ability to constantly hit her. She shoots ice magic and freezes me, but she herself flies in the sky and teleports after each hit on her. In general, it was very difficult to defeat her, and I had to end up running away from the tower and luring her to a flatter terrain. After I immediately killed her, a lot of experience fell out of her and nothing else. To be honest, I went through different mods and fought a lot of bosses, but I just haven't seen a more difficult and uncomfortable boss in my life. I spent a lot of time and effort killing her, and in the end, I only got experience, and that's it. Not 1 item, no armor and weapons, just 0. Disappointed. I decided that it was time to go home, but I will come back here to check if I've researched everything here. Came home after defeating the Snow Queen. It was a very long time and I only gained experience. I am going to enchant all the new armor, but first I need to choose what I will enchant. I got a whole bunch of different armor and materials. I want to craft armor from all materials. and then remove the enchantments from the unnecessary armor and get even more experience. And then I'll be able to enchant things for what I need. I found a few more varieties of colored diamonds and crafted ironite boots, but they're weaker than my red ones. Unfortunately, I couldn't make a full set of armor from red diamonds, but I didn't have any good pieces of armor yet, so I'll be able to build myself a good set of armor in general with the help of a whetstone with it. I will enchant all the enchantments and enchant the best armor. My netherite armor is almost broken, so I don't see the point in repairing it. Besides, the new one should be stronger. Now let's see what happens, and later I will go to kill the ender dragon and complete the ice apocalypse in the world of ice. As it turned out, it is much more difficult to enchant new armor. I don't know why, but most often it is enchanted only for durability 3. It works on the principle of gold armor. As you know, golden armor is enchanted much better than the rest, and this armor, on the contrary, is worse. Quite strange, but also logical because it already has quite a lot of armor by default without enchantments. Anyway, I spent all my experience to enchant the chest piece, so I'll have to get more experience to enchant all the armor. I enchanted the pants for durability 3, but do not forget that I can freeze and I need to enchant the chest for thermal protection. Otherwise, there will be no point in armor. So my chest piece for protection 4 now does not fit, and I will not be able to wear it. It didn't work out with the pants, and they were left without enchantments. Anyway, I decided that I would go back to the ice world, look for something else that I could have missed the first time, and at the same time get experience because there are a lot of monsters there. After that, I will come back and enchant all my armor. Hopefully my plan will work out and I can go slay the dragon. Okay, I've come back and climbed the whole ice world. I've been digging caves and killing monsters in dungeons. I've collected a lot of items and experience, and now I'm getting ready for the final gathering. I'm going to enchant the armor and go to kill the dragon. I've got a whole bunch of swords and armor enchanted. I'll be able to remove the experience from them if necessary. By the way, a strange thing happened. The fact is that I enchanted things at level 30 and got durability 3. And after I enchanted the thing at level 18, I got protection 4 and durability 3. It's very strange because it shouldn't work like this. Apparently it's some kind of bug, or I was just lucky. I still didn't understand why this happened, but you need to enchant all other things. I have a lot of things to do, so let's not hesitate. I enchanted 2 blue swords for some new enchantments. I'll check them later, but now there's only armor left. And my theory was confirmed. The rarer the sword or armor, the harder it is to enchant it. So I decided not to enchant some very cool things, but to enchant weaker. But the enchantment will be cooler, and thus the item will be stronger. I don't want to run around collecting experience in the icy world anymore. In addition, I will definitely have enough strength to defeat the dragon, given that it can be defeated in diamond armor. And I have a new cool one from the ice world. It would be possible not to enchant it at all, since I enchanted my chest for thermal stability and protection 4, so I'm strong enough. Let's go to the edge, but first let's sum up the results. In 93 days of survival, we have built a huge kingdom of ice and snow, grown a giant tree, defeated the main boss, the Snow Queen in the ice world, and got a cool set of armor. We survived in the most dangerous and terrible ice wastelands, and now we are one step away from saving the world from the ice apocalypse. We only need to kill the Ender Dragon and everything will be over. So let's go on our last journey, find it and destroy it, no matter what it takes. We will save Christmas and New Year. Now, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like my friends. Let's go. Well, finally met a mutant ice robber who also throws ice blocks at me. I was very afraid to meet him before, but now he is quite weak for me. I easily defeated him, although I almost died myself. I enchanted my sword on the blast wave, and when I attack mobs, everything around me explodes, including me. That's why this sword is dangerous for me. And because of it, I can die, play it safe, and take another sword after fighting off all the monsters. I go on my last journey to the portal to the end, where the final boss, the Ender Dragon, and the last culprit of the ice apocalypse is already waiting for me. Well, I'm near the portal. And after drinking water, I put my eyes into the portal and just look how beautiful it is. It hides millions of stars from space. It fascinates, but I don't have time. Let's go to land to hunt a dragon. I am greeted by a beautiful world of end, lightning, black holes, and a bunch of endermen, as well as my main enemy, Ender Dragon. I dug through the endermen to get out and plan to break all the crystals with magic rings. But the problem is that they shoot quite at a short distance, and I had to get blocks and climb each of the towers with crystals by hand and break them with blows. It took a long time, but there was no other way out. Again, did not make a bow, and it played against me in general. It turned out that these magic rings are absolutely not suitable for fighting the dragon, and they do not cause him any damage. Do not even set him on fire. So you will have to kill him with a sword, since I enchanted a cool sword, and it will be easy. The Ender Dragon is defeated. He has a whole bunch of colorful experience, and of course, a dragon egg. Finally, the world is saved, and now I can take the dragon egg and return home. I managed to celebrate it in time for the new year and even be able to celebrate it. How lucky I am. I tried to take the dragon egg with iron rods, but it didn't work. I got a little dumb and forgot that there are torches on the dragon portal with which I can take the dragon egg. Anyway, I was attacked by 2 endermen and almost killed me. I don't want to stay here anymore and go home. Thank you for watching my videos. Without your support, I definitely wouldn't have coped with all the difficulties. Well, guys, now let's go home and sum up the results of our survival. I think that we were able to cope with all the difficulties with you, and it turned out to be quite interesting, exciting, and cool. By the way, how do you like the New Year's loading crane after defeating the dragon? Anyway, I'm back home and let's wrap it up. I've come a pretty long and difficult way. It took about 2 weeks of my life to make this video, and I hope you will support it with like and subscription. I made a cool set of armor to protect for. I rebuilt the Ice Kingdom and was able to defeat ice creatures, mutants, and monsters. I was able to defeat the Ice Queen and the Ender Dragon. Now the world will gradually return to normal and life will appear in it. Flowers will bloom and everything will be fine. Thank you all for watching. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I wish you all good holidays and good luck, guys. Everyone for now, and see you next time.